The Way of the Warrior by Alonzo Guerrero and Jason Cathy. Once upon a time at a school in Des Plaines, Illinois called Maine West, there were two freshmen named JP and Alonzo. When baseball tryouts came along, nobody expected them to make a team. In fact, nobody expected them to make the team at all.
The two kids had only known each other for a few months, but when tryouts came along, they played like they had known each other forever. They had the same style from the way they threw and the way they swung the bat.
The coaches said in an interview for Sports Illustrated, quoted, "These kids play so well together that we might move them up to varsity." And as they said they would, they did. By the first month of baseball, JP and Alonzo were the top players on the varsity roster. They were winning every single game.
They took their team to first in conference after beating the highly rated Maine South Hawks. They brought a lot of attention to the baseball department at Maine West. They had scouts at every game and even sometimes at practice. It was May now, and they were playing Maine South for first in conference.
It was a beautiful Saturday afternoon, very sunny, low breeze, and not too hot. The Hawks wanted revenge after losing the first game by 5 runs. After 9 intense innings of great baseball, the Warriors pulled off another win, and they had claimed the conference title.
A few weeks later, it was time for regional tournament, and the Maine West Warriors were predicted to win it and move to sectionals. And predictions were right. They beat every team by at least 6 runs.
Whether the Warriors won state or not, it didn't matter. They had already beaten a Maine West record and got further than any other Maine West team. Even if they lost to Leiden in the finals, Jason and Alonzo were going somewhere far with their baseball career. Jason and Alonzo will be predicted to play only 2 years in college before heading into minor league contracts.
It was the night before Super Sectionals, and Alonzo and Jason were out at a friend's house. He had thrown a party to congratulate Alonzo and Jason and the rest of the team. It was very late at night when Alonzo left the party. He had refused to go home with Jason earlier that night.
He was walking home when all of a sudden he looked back and was hit with a bat on the back of the head. He woke up later that day and found himself in a hospital with bandages on his head. He had suffered a major concussion.
Even though the team's best outfielder was suffering an injury in the hospital, the team needed to play. The game had started at 5:30 in the afternoon. The stadium recognized a moment of silence for the tragic accident that happened the night before.
It was the 5th inning and Jason was having a great start to the game, but the team was still down by 2 runs. The team only had 2 more innings to score 2 runs. Nicky, the third baseman for Maine West, was up to bat.
He hit a double to left field with 2 outs. Jason was up to bat, and a home run would tie the game. The first pitch was a fastball right over the plate. Crack. Deep left field. The ball flew at an intense high speed. Over the fence. Foul ball.
With 1 strike and no balls, Jason had a lot to work with. The next pitch was a curveball for a strike. 0-2. Now Jason was in trouble. Jason called the timeout.
He came back to the plate with sweat dripping off his forehead. The pitch. The swing. Crack. Deep center. Field going, gone.
The game was then tied all the way into the 7th inning, and Maine West won the game in overtime. Maine West got their star outfielder back and won the next 2 games and won to state.
Maine West won state for the first time ever after having Alonzo and Jason hit back-to-back home runs in the 5th inning to take the lead. Jason is finishing up school and hopes to play for Wisconsin University over the summer for their training and scouting program. Alonzo is going right out of high school to play Double-A for the Yankees feeder team.
2 years later, Alonzo and Jason came back for the Maine West baseball season to coach the team. They won sectionals and super sectionals, but ended the season with a loss to Maine South at finals. The same year, Jason and Alonzo were inducted into Maine West Hall of Fame for being outstanding athletes. The end.